I've just had the kettle back on, and it's getting on for the time I think it was 9:15ish. Don't know if you can make that out. 9:15ish. Again, I've just stoked the fire right up, just to give a bit extra light. And as usual, not long just brewed up. I just keep the billy can in the corner of the fire. Look, can you see that there? Just in the corner of the fire there. Just sort of like keeps it lukewarm. You know, you fill it up, it takes less time to boil. It's not like, it's not really about this discussion. It's not really about survival. It's just like, well, I'm interested in, you know, survival techniques and being able to look after myself and that. But any food can be uncomfortable outside. You know what I mean? Anybody can do that. Right now, look, I'm not testing any kit or whatever. You know what I mean? I've got less kit with me than you see me with for a while. I'm smoothing it, man. Proper smoothing it. I think mainly from the beginning is, like I said, we'll not go over about yourself and all that, but the next thing is picking up bits of kit and that. I mean, right clothing from the start, just from the very start, get the right bits of clothing. Just try to remember cotton kills, and it does. If cotton gets wet, like cotton trousers and cotton jumpers and jackets and that, if they get wet and you get cold, you'll stay cold and wet, and it'll be very difficult to warm back up. Try to avoid them. Definitely try to avoid cotton. Try to remember also that if you're not used to walking about, say like bugging out or whatever, or you know, like getting out of Dodge, whatever you want to talk about, I'm telling you now, if you haven't done any walking and you put a rucksack on your back or a burden or whatever you want to call it, right, and you start, or even without it, you'll be surprised where you chafe, right? Rub, you'll be surprised. Don't just get a little thing of Vaseline, get a big pot of Vaseline, grease yourself right up if you're thinking about tapping it out, if you haven't done it for a while. And like I say, if you're not used to carrying a rucksack, you'll get Bergen burn, like rub marks where your Bergen's rubbing, Bergen rub. And it's a burn, that's what it is, that's what blisters are. You treat blisters like a burn, but anything like that, it's a friction burn. Painful. But you really don't need bundles of kit. Something to sleep under, something to sleep on, something to sleep in, something to carry your water in, something to collect your water, and something to boil your water. Bottle, metal cup, basically. You know, can't far wrong with those few things. Bit of string. There's a thing called the 5 C's of survivability, right? I'm not going to put anybody down, right? But it's not Dave Canterbury. I promise you, if you look up in your history, it's a British mountaineering thing. And what they came up with was the 5 minimum things that you would need to climb up, because you're talking about back in the days where, and this is no exaggeration, like in the First World War, right? Their boots they had, they were a stone in weight, those boots, 7 pounds each. A stone. 7 pounds in weight per boot. So you can imagine back then the kit, the rope and all that was weighed a ton and everything. It was the minimum amount of kit that they could get up. Sunglasses was on it. Sunglasses and wind block. The original list. That was in the 10. That was in the 10. But those 5 C's of survivability, that's bang on, that is. That's right, that is. Cover, cordage, container, combustion, and cover, cordage, combustion, container, Fire cordage, combustion container, cordage, cutting. How could I forget cutting? Oh yeah, a knife's important, a knife. But you don't need some big fuck off fucking Bowie knife or whatever, or little pocket knife will do you. Sensible little pocket knife, you get most of your tasks done. When you first start off, most of the time you'd just be opening food packets. It's not easy at all living out in the field, at all. Completely living out in the field, like gathering your own food and fuel and water. It's not easy at all. At all. If you haven't done it and you think that you're going to go and survive out in the woods, sorry, but you won't. It's difficult. I have set routines, like, you know what I mean, there's things that, like I said, I'll say it again, I personally, just before bed down, I like to know that I've got enough stuff for at least the morning, if not all that following day, and prepared ready for me. Make me water and, you know what I mean? And you'd be surprised how much water you go through. 3 litres, it sounds a lot. But if you're washing, cooking, drinking, it doesn't go far. 3 litres doesn't go far at all. Something else in all personal hygiene and that, and I think Andy Mad Dog's going to be doing something like, we should do something like shows your shit kit, shows what you carry for outside toiletry needs, and that's what it's called, a shit kit. Short term, I'll use tissues or baby wipes. I prefer baby wipes, but I'll take the baby wipes home with me, right? Tissues, I'll either burn on the spot and bury. If I can't bury anything, it all comes back home with me. But over long term, I take sponges with me and I clean rather than wipe. This is what I'm saying, long term things like toilet paper will run out, you know, it'll just run out, won't it? So you've got to then start thinking about other stuff. So sponges last you, you know, how long does a sponge last? You take 3 sponges, you cut them in 3s. Just ever. And sponges are handy for gathering water and other things, mopping up. Try to carry something that's got more than one use. Try to make things easier on yourself, not hard. Give yourself a chance, that's what I call it. Pre-thread your needles and threads, at least one of them, so you know that you can get one done. Because you've got no chance of threading a needle if you're freezing cold and not like there's something else and all. I cannot imagine any situation when if you're in the middle of a gale and you go and say, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll just do a little bit of darning. You know what I mean? So it's horses for courses, isn't it? It's paradoxical, never hypocritical. Survival. If you can't be seen, be heard. Whistles, they're a tiny bit of kit, massively important. It's not just for rescue neither, is it? It's you know, you can let people know what's going on and whatever, but learn to look after yourselves, really, you know what I mean, before you... I just love it, man. I just love it. Camping. It is definitely camping, wild camping, or bivouacking, or whatever you want to call it. I'll probably do what I normally do. I'll come here for a few nights off the trot. You know what I mean? Off and on, and I'll go and find somewhere else, and so I'm not leaving too much sign. Because you start wearing away the ground and that, don't you? I'm going to keep these videos down to 10 minutes because then I know that can go on the YouTube, so just a quick one. Another little chat and then, I don't know, I'll probably wrap up. I don't know if you can see. Bed kit's out, that's just my brew kit, and that'll probably get tidied away. And then everything else is in that Bergen cover. Got my green light on. Right, anyway, I'm going to go now, so I'll see you later on, right? I'll do another video later before I go to bed. Right.